There are a lot of issues that are very complex and they're very detailed. I mean, you think of how do you deal with evolution? How do you deal with the problem of evil or something? How do you deal with this, that, and the other thing? And there's all these nuances in and out and whatever. But when it comes to the abortion issue, even though more and more there's kind of boutique objections regarding the pro-life view, the foundation is pretty straightforward. Would that be fair to say?
It is. It's very straightforward. And when you learn, I think, the basic categories, then you can learn in a conversation where you need to go. And that's not to say that everything comes out scripted, because people are complex.
Right.
And this issue hurts people. And so there is a sensitivity there, an artfulness, if you will, in the tactics that you're using, to use some great STR language. But if you understand the basic categories of what's going on, then you have room to go, I hear this objection, I know where to go with that.
Yeah. You mentioned something that intrigued me a second ago. You said there's a kind of a cultural moment here. Now, of course, abortion issue has been a huge issue since 1973. That was the year I became a Christian. That's been almost half a century, okay? We're 2 years shy of a half a century since Roe v. Wade. So this has been a cultural issue for all that time. But you mentioned something about a cultural moment. Do you see a particular opening here in a certain sense? What were you referring to when you used that phrase?
I think maybe an opportunity because it is chaotic. So I think anytime that there's chaos, when someone can speak in a grounded way, then they're going to get other people's attention. What is it about that person? They seem very sure of themselves. I didn't feel attacked when they asked me the questions they asked me, or when they brought the information that they brought about this issue. I've never thought about it that way before. I think what we have here is a little bit of lack of thought, or a lot of lack of thought, when it comes to these hot button issues, given the discourse over social media through just short phrases and bumper stickers and a lot of heat. So when someone can see what's going on, and this has probably been true all along, but I feel like right now for our young people, they're hungry for this. When they can see what's going on, and they can be that person who isn't going to jump to anger or the flash in the pan or anything like that in a conversation, but rather is going to be curious when someone opposes their view and begin going, interesting, because they understand it to be, for listeners who are familiar with the terms, an objective issue, something that isn't mine, something that doesn't rest on me, but rather something that either is or isn't. Abortion either is wrong because it takes innocent lives, or it's not. And so those kind of people, and these young people are kind of hungry to be those examples, the ones that I encounter anyway. They can make a real difference just by saying a simple thing, asking a simple question, putting a pebble in someone's shoe.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does.
Well, you guys at LTI are fabulous at graciously managing the heat. And you guys get it. It's hard. Well, maybe this would have been more true 2 months ago, or rather 2 years ago, than it is today. But I was going to say it's hard to imagine an issue that elicits more heat than light, anger from the opposition. Now it's unfortunately the case that there's a number of issues in the cultural dialogue that can trigger an explosion from the other side. But, Christians' responses still have to be the same, with grace and reverence. This is our verse on defending the faith in 1 Peter chapter 3, always be ready to give an answer kind of thing, but with gentleness and reverence. And you guys under Scott's tutelage have been trained well to do that. And of course, you've had a lot of opportunity to be on the firing line and live that out.